answer or a strategy that you're coming up with? Quick, let's take some answers. Who has an answer for me up here? Tell me your name, honey.
My answer is 800.
800 is his answer. What was your name?
Noah.
Noah. Does anybody have a different answer, or do we all agree? I see a bunch of you doing this. Wow. So how did we figure out this answer? We all agree so quickly that the sum is 800. So how did we figure this out? Who wants to share their thinking? What were you thinking, honey?
Well, if you do like up and down, you all have to do 4 plus 4 because yeah, there's nothing like nothing that can change everything.
Uh-huh.
Like the numbers so you do 4 plus 4 and it'll be 8 and then it's add these here.
Okay, so can you tell me your name?
Allie.
Allie, spell it for me. Allie says that somehow we can use 4 plus 4 to help us solve this problem. I want you to turn and talk to your neighbor. How are we using 4 plus 4 to help us solve this problem? What's she thinking? What's she doing? Okay, so come back to me. Let's see if we can figure out how Allie used the 4 plus 4 to help her solve this problem. What do you think?
Because 4 plus 4 equals 8, but really the 4 is in the 100 place, and so it would be 400 plus 400.
Oh, so this is really 400 plus 400 gives us 800, right? So using that, what we know about 4 plus 4, then we just know that it's worth 100 and not just 4, right? So I think that's some pretty good thinking, don't you? All right, let's try another problem. Are you ready? Okay, here's your next one. When you have the answer or a strategy, give me your phone. All right, let's take some answers. Who wants to give me the sum for this problem? What'd you get, honey?
798.
He said 798. Do I have another answer than 798? No other answers? We all agree? Wow. You have a different answer? Or you agree? You agree? Okay, so we all agree it's 798, and you guys got that really quickly. Your thumbs went up. I wonder how we solved this problem. So who wants to share their thinking on how you solved this problem? Tell me your name, honey.
Chloe.
Chloe, tell me what you thought.
So like when we do 9 times 2, it's usually 18. But then, so if you do it vertically, then 9 plus 9 is 18. You can't do 2 digits in the same place, so you have to carry one to the top, and then it'd be 19 for the other side, and then carry that one again, and then it'd give you 790.
Interesting. So Chloe's talking about adding some 9s together to get 18 and then doing some other things to get maybe a 19. I need you to turn and talk. What is she doing to these numbers? Where is she getting these numbers to make 18 and a 19 and all that kind of stuff? Turn and talk, see if you can make sense of what she's saying. So she's adding each one side. Is that what you do? Okay, let's come back together and see. I want to hear what you talked about Chloe's thinking here, that she's adding 9s and stuff together. Who wants to share what you and your partner talked about that you were doing to make sense? In the back there.
She's adding the place values together, so she's adding the 9s in the one place together, which equals 18, and then the 9s in the tens place, which equals 180, and then she's adding the 180 plus the 19, or 18, which equals 198, and then the 300 plus 300, which equals 600, and then 600 plus 198 equals 798.
Okay, so are y'all following all that?
Yeah.
Where'd all those 9s that she's talking about come from? she have to do to this number before she could add the 9s and 90s and 300s together? What she have to do?
it down.
That's right, we have to decompose it, because we can't add these pieces together until we pull the number apart, because there's not a 9 here, it's a 399 is the number, right? So if I heard Chloe and, tell me your name, honey? Keaton, correctly, they were adding the 9s together to get 18, and then the 10s together, I should have said the 1s together, which were 9s, and then the 10s together to get 180, and then the 100s together, to get 600. Is that what we were thinking there? And then you added all those together? And so, because I think Keaton, what I heard you say is you added this together and got 198, correct? To 600 and got 798. Chloe, is that how you got to 798?
No, I did it vertically.
Yeah, so you do, I don't write them vertically, but you can tell me what you did vertically.
Yeah.
You regrouped, right?
Yeah.
So what did you regroup?
I regrouped the 219s because the 1 in the ones place that equaled 18, and you can't keep that 18, so you have to carry the 1 to the other 9, and then that same 9 is 18, but then you have that remainder.
So
Yeah.
Chloe is saying, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Chloe. Chloe was saying that she took the 1 out of this 18 and carried it over. I need to turn and talk to that neighbor. What is this 1 in this number right here represent? So, and what's she doing with it? Okay, so what was that 1 really representing? A 10. So she's going to regroup it with the what? With the 10s, right? So when we're putting that 1 up there, it's not really a 1, it's a 10, isn't it? So she pulled this number apart, 18, and it left her with 8, and she put that 10 over here with her other 18 10s, right? 18 10s plus 1 more 10 would give us those 190 or 19 10s. So then she had her regrouping there, and she was able to continue her regrouping. Because I think you said, Chloe, then you took this one apart as well and regrouped your hundreds? Did you take the 1 out of 19, or 19 10s and give it to the 100?
Yes, and then that gave me the 700,
Yep.
798.
So then she regrouped over here. So same kind of thought process. She still got the same answer. She's just doing all of her regrouping by putting her 1s together, her 10s together, and things like that. I wonder if anyone else saw 399 in a different way, that maybe used something they did in the first problem to help them solve this one. Did you see any connections there? What about you?
I knew that 400 plus 400 was 800, so I just rounded up 300 to 4, both 300s to 400.
Okay.
So that rounded up got me 800, and since I added two to it, I had to subtract 2, which 400 minus 2 is 398.
Oh,
I mean
interesting.
798.
Tell me your name, honey.
Nathan.
So Nathan is saying that something about adding some numbers, and talk to your neighbor. What is he doing to these numbers in order to get 798? See if you can make sense of what he's saying. What's he saying he's doing?
Since he adds 1 plus 1 to make it 400, then he would have to subtract from that problem, so it would make up the
So like,
you have to add both of those to make 400.
Okay, so come back with me, and let's talk about Nathan's strategy about turning these numbers into 400s and taking stuff off. I think it's an interesting strategy. I'm wondering if you guys made sense of it with your partner. You want to tell me what he's thinking there?
I think he added 1 to each of 399.
Can you just add? Why would he do such a thing, y'all? Why would he add 1 to each of those? You can tell me.
Because in the last problem, it made 400 plus 400, and we knew the answer straight away.
We knew the answer straight away, didn't we? So Nathan was using something he already knew. He already knew that 400 and 400 would help him solve it. So he changed them to this. And then what happened, honey?
So you got 800
Uh-huh.
minus the 2 that he borrowed.
Oh, so he had to take this 2 off. Why?
Because he borrowed it from 399.
Okay, so he increased it, right? He changed his problem by 2. Here, we added 1, so we had to take those off to get 798. Interesting. and tell me your name, honey?
Ashley.
Ashley explaining that, okay? Let's keep that in mind and do one more problem. Are you ready? Let's keep these strategies in mind and which ones that you might want to use to solve this next problem. When you have the answer, can someone? Okay, this time as most of my thumbs are up, I want you to turn and talk to that neighbor, and I want you to talk about two things. Number one, what's the sum? Number two, how'd you get it? Go ahead and turn and talk. Okay, come back with me. You guys are very, very good. I have to compliment you on talking and listening. I see when people are talking that you're looking at them and you're leaning in and you're listening. That's a good job. Good job. All right, so let's talk about the answer. You all talked about with your neighbor what the answer was and how you got it. So who wants to share? Back in the back.
I got 797.
Okay, he got 797. Did anyone get a different answer than 797? We all agree. Awesome. That it's 797. So who wants to share their thinking? Oh, timer's going off. That means we'll wrap this up here in just a second. But let's get through this thinking. So who wants to share their thinking on how they got 797? You want to go ahead and tell us, honey? What'd you do?
So I knew from the last problem 399 plus 399 was 798. So all you really have to do is take one away from 798 to get the answer for that one.
Oh, so I need you to turn and talk. Tell me your name, honey. Ryland, R-Y-L-A-N. So Ryland said he knew the last answer, and so he was. What did he do to solve this problem? Turn and talk. Make sense of what Ryland's saying with your partner. What did he say he did, and was it what you did?
Yeah.
Okay, so come back to me. Let's talk about what Ryland did. What did he do? How did he change and use something that he knew to solve this problem? Who wants to share your thinking? Talk to me. It's Angel, right? No, it was Angel. Angel. And your name is? Eric. Eric, tell me.
So Riley said that he got one from the 398. So he took one from the 398, and I think he added it to the 399. That was 400. Then I think he added it to 400. 400 plus 397. So he took one from 98, and then he added it.
Okay, so Eric this is what Eric said. I'm going to revoice what he said so you all can hear him because he had an interesting thought. And we'll see if you think it's what Ryland did. He said, whoops, let me write the right problem, Miss Lovis. He said he took one, I think he took one from the 398. So if he takes one from the 398, what's left? 397, right? So we decomposed that and then he said, I think he then gave the one to the 399. Y'all, why would he want to give one to the 399? To make it a what? You can say it. 400. Why do we like the number 400?
Because it's easy to subtract.
Yeah, it's easy to subtract or add. Yeah, it's that friendly number, isn't it?
Yeah.
We like friendly numbers. So then he just said 400 plus 397 is 797. Do y'all think that's what Ryland did to solve the problem?
No.
Maybe not, but is this an interesting way to solve as well? Eric, good thinking. I like that. So he just took one, made a friendly number, and moved over. But Ryland said he did something else, right? What do you think Ryland did to solve the problem? Talk to me.
I think that he did, he added one to 399 like what Eric did, but he also,
And why would he add one to the 398?
to get not to 398, the 399.